A potential government shutdown is on the way. UNT's class has a new dean. Find out more about him later on. And stay safe this holiday season while traveling.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Kayla Bumpus.
And I'm Chris Goodwin.
House Speaker Mike Johnson proposed two-step plan to avoid a government shutdown receives mixed sentiments. The short-term funding bill that was passed in September is set to expire Friday, and Congress is scrambling to pass a new bill. CNN's Mike Valerio has the story.
Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson's plan to temporarily fund the government is already facing opposition from members of his own party.
The one thing we know almost to a certainty is that the GOP side of the aisle contains a number of people who are extremists and who have shown absolutely no indication that they want to get things done.
The first part of the bill, in a two-tier plan, extends funding until January 19th for items including military construction, veterans affairs, transportation, housing, and the energy department. The second part extends funding until February 2nd for the rest of the government.
We need more time so we could pass those and then have until February to negotiate with the Senate to get this done.
Missing from the plan, additional aid for Israel or Ukraine, and the deep spending cuts hardline conservatives are looking for. With a slim majority in the House, Johnson will likely need Democratic support to get the bill passed.
Johnson is going to do what's right, buy time, and then come together with the Dems and work in a bipartisan fashion, which is what the American people want.
Some lawmakers are frustrated with the piecemeal approach.
It just means we're postponing the agony.
But with the clock ticking and several global crises ongoing, the pressure is on Congress to act.
I mean, there's no choice here. I mean, the world is on fire from where I sit. It is too, urgent. We can't sit back and do nothing.
And also, of course, involved in this process, President Biden. He so far has not said whether he will sign or veto this deal if it gets to his desk, but he did say in the Oval Office today that he needs to see more about how Republicans are strategizing.
The House is expected to vote on the bill this afternoon as the clock keeps ticking. The U.S. Supreme Court has released a 9-page code of conduct, the first ever set of ethics to govern the justices. This comes after increasing scrutiny over gifts and holiday arrangements given to several jurists. The code, lacking enforcement mechanisms, relies on justices' voluntary compliance. Previously, justices had abided by unwritten ethical rules, leading them to have perceiving unrestricted behavior. Organized into 4 sections, the code addresses how justices should behave, perform their duties, and conduct themselves in non-judicial and financial activities. In a statement released with the code, the court acknowledged the need for further guidance on financial disclosure and recursal rules.
Iceland has declared a state of emergency on Monday due to heightened seismic activity. The Icelandic Meteorological Office reported significant earthquake swarms, prompting concerns about a forming magma tunnel reaching the coastal town of Grindavik, as well as a potential volcanic eruption. Despite around 900 earthquakes having hit the southern region, authorities stress no imminent danger, urging citizens to remain calm. Even so, authorities evacuated almost 4,000 people over the weekend as tens of thousands of tremors continue to shake the nation.
A devastating fire has caused permanent damage on a Los Angeles highway, resulting in indefinite closures. We go to CNN's David Goldstein for the details.
They are a huge fire hazard, right? They are built perfectly for a fire.
Fire safety expert Brian O'Connor is talking about these pallets. You can see on Google Street View the wooden pallets stacked underneath the 10 freeway. The pictures taken in January of this year. A sign even saying, "We buy pallets." The National Fire Prevention Association says wooden pallets shouldn't be stacked like this. outdoors, should they be stacked one, then the next one, then the next one, the next one, right next to each other?
So there is a requirement for 8 feet separation of stacks so that if there is one that catches on fire, it doesn't propagate horizontally, which is really kind of what we're trying to prevent because that's how the fires get really, really big.
The governor says the land under the freeway had been leased to a company that he says illegally subleased it to others.
This guy and this organization, however the members of that particular corporation have been bad actors. We've been in a litigious posture for some time. They stopped paying their rent. They're out of compliance. And as was stated yesterday, and we could stay with more clarity and conviction today, they have been subleasing this site to at least 5, maybe as many as 6 tenants.
I really hope everyone in LA is safe and steering clear of the fire.
Me too, Chris, and I can't help but worry about how bad that fire is for our environment. Let's take it to our weather anchor, Sebastian. Sebastian?
Thanks, guys. According to the new National Climate Assessment, climate change is expensive, deadly, and preventable. Climate change affects food, housing, and labor, and it all gets pricier as the Earth heats up. Weather-related disasters in the U.S. cause about $150 billion each year in direct losses. Along with that, climate change makes people sick and often kills them. Heat waves have become hotter, longer, and more dangerous, and they're hitting in areas that aren't ready for them, leading to hundreds of deaths. However, it is still somewhat preventable. Dialing back fossil fuel emissions can help prevent further spikes in the weather and will also lessen pollution. Now, sticking to the topic of weather, let's take a look at our conditions for today. As you can see, it's currently 70 degrees outside, a little bit of a partly cloudy, but it feels more like 72, so it's still a bit of a nice day outside right now. Now we take a look ahead towards tonight's conditions, and it's going to cool down a lot. It's going to be about 46 degrees. It's going to feel like 47, a 4-mile-an-hour wind. So bring out the jackets, bring out everything you need for your colder weather. But at least you'll have a nice view of the moon outside tonight. Now we look ahead towards tomorrow's conditions. As you can see, it's 71 degrees, and it's going to feel like 71 degrees. Still partly cloudy, but with a 6-mile-an-hour wind. So nice back-to-back days with a really cold night looking ahead towards the next couple of days. That's all I have for this first look at weather. Back to y'all at the desk.
Learn more about the new Executive Dean of Class here at UNT.
And figure out if you may want to reschedule your holiday travel plans with the current traveling trends.
You really shouldn't litter. It's bad for the environment.
I guess you're right. I'm gonna go throw this away.
What's wrong? Are you stuck in your paper?
Pretty much. I haven't written anything in like an hour.
Why don't you check out the Writing Center at UNT?
Well, how do I meet up with them?
All you have to do to make an appointment is visit the Writing Center's website and either call the number or email writingcenter@unt.edu. The appointment is 30 minutes long, and the trained tutors will be able to help with brainstorming, correcting grammar, ensuring clarity, and a wide range of services. They also do walk-in appointments.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna check them out.
So, when's this paper due?
30 minutes.
For more information, visit the UNT Writing Center's website.
Yeah, it's 6 pages.
Palestinians trapped inside Gaza's biggest hospital dug a mass grave earlier today to bury patients who died under Israeli control. No plans currently in place to evacuate babies, despite Israel offering to send portable incubators. A Hamas official in Beirut says 25 of Gaza's 35 hospitals are out of use because of Israel's assault. Israel denies the hospital is under siege and says its forces allow exit routes for those inside. Medics inside the hospital deny this and say that those trying to leave come under fire. Tens and thousands are expected to rally today on the National Mall in D.C. supporting Israel in its 6-week war against Hamas. Organized by the Jewish Federation of North America, the March for Israel aims to draw in 40,000 to 60,000 participants and will denounce rising anti-Semitism. The event will have a particular focus on the 200 hostages still held by Hamas since their October 7th attack. The rally is scheduled from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time today, with gates opening at 10 a.m. Because rallies of this size rarely happen during the work week, the National Guard will be present to assist with security.
CLASS, or the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, is the largest academic college on UNT campus. The school has just named a new executive dean to head the college. This week, in an exclusive 4-part series, ntTV's news director Isabella Quintanilla introduces us to Dr. Albert Bimper Jr.
I was born in Irving, and then I kind of lived in the area, grew up mainly in Arlington, and so kind of have been in this North Texas area for much of my life growing up. I was kind of born and raised in North Texas, I guess you'd say. My mother's from the area. My father immigrated to the States from Ghana, so they all met kind of in this North Texas. And then I have a younger sibling, a younger sister. She still lives in the area. I left high school and went to Colorado State as a student athlete. That's where I did my undergrad. I studied health and exercise science there, and then had the opportunity to go to the NFL. Went in undrafted. I say I made the NFL the hard way. I think we walked in with about 20-something guys onto the Indianapolis Colts, and you know, by the end of the first year, the first rookie camp and so forth, we started the season with about 8 of us. So I learned the NFL pretty quickly.
You had to prove yourself.
That's right, yeah. Had a couple seasons there and then went up the road to Purdue. Purdue was my master's degree area, and so I thought I wanted to get into coaching. So I actually started coaching as a graduate assistant for the Purdue athletic department, Purdue football team. And then, but was taking classes, obviously as a graduate student, and really found an interest in sports psychology that I was studying there. So my advisor at the time asked me, have you thought about getting a PhD? I'm first generation college student, so that carries with you kind of at every phase. And so the idea of getting a PhD, I hadn't really thought about it, didn't know what that meant, didn't know how. So he really pointed me in the right direction. I actually ended up back down here in Austin, University of Texas, for my PhD. And so I started as a faculty member at Kansas State. I was recruited quickly to Colorado State, spent there the last maybe decade or so, and then now I'm here.
Tune in tonight and the rest of the week for more on Dean Bimper. Well, Chris, it certainly appears that this fall weather is finally here and here to stay.
I think you may be right, Caleb, but I won't trust it until my favorite weather anchor confirms. Let's take it to the man himself, Sebastian Nava. Sebastian?
Thanks, guys. So we're gonna take a look ahead at our conditions across the North Texas region. As you can see, it's gonna be 60s all across the region, 59 down in Fort Worth, but we have 64 over here in Denton, same in Dallas, 65 up in Paris. So like we said, it's gonna be mid-60s all around the North Texas region today. Now we're gonna take a look ahead towards the conditions across the rest of the state. You can see more of the same things, 60s all over. El Paso's out at 57, 67 down in Austin, 63 up in Houston. So like we mentioned, 60s all across the North Texas region and all across the state. Now we're going to take a look ahead towards our 7-day forecast. And here you can see it's going to be relatively cool for the rest of the week. 70s all across the board, 60s as we get in towards the rest of the 7 days. We're going to have a really bad chance of rain on Sunday. We have over a 96% chance of raining on that day. But we're going to finish it out on Tuesday, 54 with some clouds. So like you mentioned earlier, Caleb, this fall weather looks like it's going to be here to stay, so make sure y'all stay prepared, grab y'all's jackets, grab y'all's coats, and that's all I got for this full look at weather. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Sebastian. Brace yourself if you're planning on traveling this Thanksgiving weekend. AAA predicts this week to be one of the busiest holiday periods on record. CNN's Amy Kiley tells us more on what we can expect.
A AAA forecast out today predicts this Thanksgiving will be the 3rd busiest on record for travelers. It estimates over 55 million people will venture 50 or more miles from home, and travelers could face more headaches than just congestion. Los Angeles is scrambling to reopen this critical section of I-10 after a devastating fire over the weekend.
This is an emergency. This is not going to be resolved in 1 or 2 days.
A possible government shutdown this coming weekend would have a broader impact. The White House is warning airline passengers could face long wait times and delays.
November 2,
The U.S. already has a shortage of air traffic controllers. A shutdown could make that worse.
That would force the FAA to suspend hiring, close its training academy, delay the pipeline of new controllers, delay modernization.
TSA employees would have to work without paychecks.
From what I hear, we're looking to surpass some records here in Atlanta over this travel holiday season. So to be in a government shutdown during that time is not going to be good.
Workers at Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson Airport say they're especially concerned.
Atlanta's the busiest airport in the world. So, you know, a slowdown here slows down everything else, and we just do not want that happening.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Check your mailbox or owl nest because you might be a wizard. See how you can immerse yourself in a new wizarding experience here in Dallas.
Want your hands on some banned books? Head to a Pink concert. Find out more after the break.
Are you behind on your credit hours? Got more time on your hands this winter? Then you need to sign up for winter sessions. Do not delay, sign up today. Visit registration.unt.edu/winter session for more information or see your advisor.
Bills because they could be worth thousands. A $2 bill sold in July for $2,400 and just recently was resold for $4,000. According to the U.S. currency auction, uncirculated $2 bills with red or brown seals can get you thousands. How to find the value of your $2 bill? Visit the U.S. Currency Price Guide or the U.S. Currency Auctions website.
Famed pop star Pink is planning to give away thousands of banned books. At her next 2 shows in Miami and Sunrise, Florida, she hopes to give away 2,000 banned book titles to fans. Why? According to America's Index of Banned Books, Florida had the highest number of book bans in the last school year, with over 1,400. The 4 books being handed out are Beloved by Toni Morrison, The Family Book by Todd Parr, The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman, and A Girl Who Codes by Reshma Saujuni.
Now, Kayla, I've heard that blood donations are at an all-time low now.
Well, that is no good. I happen to know someone who can give us some information on how to change that. Let's take it to our live shot anchor, Jordan Benavides.
Thank you, guys. Carter Blood Care has partnered with UNT's College of Health and Public Service for yet another on-campus blood drive. From now until 3 p.m. today, all students are welcome to make their way to room 120 in Chestnut Hall to make appointments and donations. Free snacks, drinks, and a fleece blanket will be provided to those who participate in the drive. For more information, visit UNT's online calendar or visit room 120 in Chestnut Hall. That's all I have today. I'm Jordan Benavides. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Jordan. Halloween is long gone, but the magic of witches and wizards is still around at the new Harry Potter experience here in North Texas. ntTV's Mauricio Ortiz-Segura found out what you can run into when you walk the magical outdoor trail at night.
Keep your wands at the ready because magic awaits you in this interactive, family-friendly woodland trail adventure set in the wizarding world of Harry Potter. Harry Potter, a Forbidden Forest experience, opened its doors on October 28th and has allowed wizards, witches, and muggles of all ages to see many elements from the beloved series brought to life here in Little Elm, Texas. Many visitors have been fans of the franchise for years now, and they have plenty of reasons to come out and enjoy the experience.
We've grown up with the Harry Potter. In my generation, we read the books and the classics, and it just defined a lot of who we are. So then they made the movies, and it became more of an identity for our generation, and now this is just kind of reliving what we always saw on TV and read in the books.
From casting spells,
Colovaria. Bombarda. Incendio.
to figuring out which Patronus is yours,
Full-bodied Patronus is the most difficult to produce.
to dueling your friends and family. All the way to spotting all of the magical creatures from the Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts movies. There is so much to do in this hour to 90-minute nightly walk through the woods.
Just the whole story. It was the cave. I like the cave thing. I like the cave thing.
The cave?
Yes.
I thought the unicorn was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like to see it walk through the woods.
I also like to do that spell thing with our
What about
dad.
the car? I think the car was pretty cool as well.
And that spider car.
Oh yes, the spider coming out of the cave was a good time.
There are so many hidden things you can find while moving along the trail using the Harry Potter: A Forbidden Forest Experience's own app, such as information about some of the beasts you can find. And when you're all done with the trail, you can rest up and drink some hot cocoa and toast some marshmallows. Now, I don't want to be a snitch and tell you everything that's here though. If you want to check out the experience for yourself, you can purchase tickets on their website, www.hpforbiddenforestexperience.com. For ntTV, I'm Mauricio Ortiz-Segura.
I've always wanted to take a swing at Quidditch. Wouldn't you, Kayla?
I don't know, Chris. I don't think I'd be very good at that game. I'm more of a video game girl myself.
Well, who doesn't love video games? And our sports anchor, Jordan Lindsay, has one more reason to love them even more. Jordan?
Thanks, guys. Find out how you can earn a scholarship just by playing video games. We'll provide you with the news after the break.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
I'm so tired. I feel ugly. I'm not okay. I didn't know UNT had counseling services. Maybe I should check it out. This looks like the place.
The Denver Broncos defeated the Buffalo Bills in a 24-22 victory on Monday night. The Broncos marched down the field on the final drive of the game to kick their first field goal attempt that missed. But a 12-men on the field penalty caused by the Bills allowed the Broncos to get a field goal one more try. Broncos kicker Will Lutz made the second attempt, and they went home with the victory. The Broncos plan to keep their win streak alive as they face the Minnesota Vikings this upcoming Sunday. The Dallas Mavericks are off to a hot start this season. The Mavs won 8 of their first 10 games, and they are now 4th in the league standings. The Mavs play the New Orleans Pelicans tonight at 7 p.m. The Esports Club at UNT is now finding a way to provide scholarships to students. I visited with the esports team for more information on the scholarship program.
The UNT Esports Club has grown tremendously, so much that they have given out scholarships to some of the many kids that find joy in playing video games. Yesterday, I spoke to Dylan Ray, the director of the Esports Club.
So we have several forms of scholarships that the university doles out to compete in UNT Esports, which is a program on campus that I oversee. My name is Dylan Ray. I'm the director of esports for UNT. And so the scholarships that are available for our students can be found on our Discord server, as well as our social media platforms like Twitter or Instagram when you're looking for @UNT Esports. There's an application link that you can follow that kind of spells out all of our requirements, whether they're academic requirements or competitive requirements. But we're currently recruiting for the fall semester of 2024 for Overwatch 2, League of Legends, Rocket League, and Women's Valorant. So to maintain the scholarship, we look at, like once you make it in and you go through the tryout process, we do have like expected, you have to play a certain amount of games every single week to maintain, knowing what you know, as well as like mandated like attendance and that kind of stuff. That allows the students to hold on to their scholarship and not lose it at the end of the semester. But I think probably the biggest hurdle is getting through the application and the tryout process to even make it in. We do have a fair amount of applicants, and we also go up against some pretty good teams in the collegiate space. So because of that, we have pretty strict rank requirements for the players that we pick up for our teams. UNT Esports has been around for about 6 years now, and we are sponsored by the university to facilitate, students competing against other colleges in esports. You can cheer on our shows on Twitch @UNT Esports or twitch.tv/UNT Esports, and it's a great way to cheer Mean Green for something that you might, care a lot about. If you're, really into competitive gaming, whether it's Rocket League, Overwatch 2, League of Legends, or Valorant. And our season is starting to wind down now, but it'll definitely be revving right back up at the beginning of the spring semester.
Oh my asshole! Oh my god! These people are everywhere. And it's not a fun way.
If you want to learn more about the esports program, visit the UNT website. That is all for sports. Now back to you at the desk.
Thanks for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 and tomorrow here at noon here at North Texas Television.